Is it a good idea to buy an older house? Let's talk about it. What's going on, good guys? Chris Newman here, Chris Newman Real Estate, chrisnewmanrealestate.com. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button, smash that like button. Now listen, I got crazy. I took it too far. Please, please forgive me. That was funny, and I was unplanned too. That was a little. All right, let's get into it. Pros and cons of buying an older home. What is my opinion on this? I believe it is all on the taste that you, the buyer, have. Here are a few pros of buying an older house. Number one, you get more space. Now, back in the days, right, early 1900s, properties were built bigger. So now you want it back in the days were bigger. My pop was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. You know that. So properties were made for that in mind. For the people that had 5, 6, 7, 12 people there, they had to accommodate. Furniture was also bigger back in the days. You had fireplaces. There were a whole bunch of reasons and meanings as to why properties were bigger. So you get space. Second, in my opinion, a big pro is the fact that you get a certain kind of charm. You get a certain kind of charm with the older property. So depending on how old it was, depending on how it was located or where it was located, you definitely get a certain kind of charm, and it's original. So the crown molding, the fireplace, the type of wood that was used, the type of brick that was used, the designs, and some properties are actually grandfathered. You can't really do much with that property. You can't really turn it into something else, or depending on when it was built and how it was built, you can never get that kind of property again. They can never rebuild that kind of property again. You only get that because of how old it was, what it meant to the community, what it meant to the families from before, the predecessors from before, what it meant to everybody. Like, it has significance to it. That can never be rebuilt, not even a replica. So now you get that kind of charm, you get that kind of history. Third reason is the history. You get this house was built in 1883. That's an old property. However, you won't get that charm again. You won't get whatever that represents and signifies. That's gone in 2024, 2025, 2026. You can't get that. Now, you buy a house in 2024, 2025, 2026, and in 2079, that property may be of significance at that time, where they say, oh my gosh, this house was built in 2024. We don't make properties like that no more. We have to cherish this. We have to save this. We have to make sure that this property doesn't go anywhere because it has a certain kind of charm. The materials that we're using now are definitely going to be outdated in the next 5 to 10 years. However, it may be cherished 30, 40, 50 years from now. The designs that we have now may be cherished 30, 40, 50 years from now. So they're going to look back at this time and say, oh my gosh, I definitely want a house from back then. I definitely want an apartment from back then, and move forward. Now, the cons of getting a property that's old: you might have structural issues. Oh, I said it. You might have structural issues. If the property wasn't well maintained, unfortunately, that property may be falling apart. Unfortunately, the property may collapse and implode if it wasn't well maintained. So now you got a property built in 1942 and it's 2024. It's that 82 years or something. If my math is off, please don't judge me. So you got a property that is that old, that's never been maintained. Something's wrong with it. Definitely. Time, wear and tear. What? Second, is going to be antiquated. So now maybe it's 2024, right? And you still got pink tiles in the bathroom. Whoa. Pink tiles in the bathroom in 2024. That's a no-no. That is a no-no. That's a big no. Look, if I knew how to do it, I would make a flag like this and make sure y'all see it's a no-no. So 2024, you got the pink tiles in your bathroom. So no-no. You have just some of the design styles. Some of the design styles, they're antiquated. You walk into the property, you walk into the apartment, you walk into the house, and you just feel like you've just been taken back in time 40, 50 years, and it's like, no, right? So that's also a con. Number 3, número 3. You're not supposed to roll your tongue that much. I'm learning Spanish. Número 3. There you go, número 3. Number 3, access issues. So now, back in the days, especially in New York, let's say New York, I believe before 1990, somewhere around 1990, if I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken right now, but somewhere around 1990, it was mandated that properties from around that time, whenever that was made, I believe it was in 1990, but definitely in the 1900s, properties made after that with certain amount of stories, like apartment buildings with certain amount of stories, had to have wheelchair accessibility. If not, something called a reasonable accommodation or a reasonable modification can be put in place. Now, when you have something that predates when that was done, and maybe you have a disability and they're not mandated to have a wheelchair ramp, they're not mandated to have an elevator, so on and so forth, that may prove to be very challenging to you and or a loved one or a few loved ones. So that can also be an issue with buying an older home. So those are my three. So I give you guys 3 cons, 3 pros, 3 pros, and 3 cons for my opinion on whether you should buy an older property. My opinion, it depends. If you like the charm, definitely get an older property. If you like the space, definitely get an older property. If you like the new designs, and sometimes, and what you may be able to do, depending on if you, because when you renovate a property, you do have to get permits for it. So you have to get permission from the city that you're in or the county that you're in to be able to move your sink from over here to over here and move your bathroom and whatever. You have to get those renovations permitted. So if you're allowed to, you can actually do a best of both, bring both worlds together. You can have old charm, so you have the older building, you have the rustic feel, you have the brick, you have the wood, you have everything that comes with an older building, but now you add splashes of modern day finishes. How do I know this? Because I'm certified in interior design, baby. So it's not just I'm great in real estate as far as selling. Oh, that was fired. I'm not great, not just I'm great in real estate. However, and I'm not just fly because I know I look, oh man, I can definitely help you make your place look with the room bang. That's a fact. So this is what you guys do. You give Chris a call, 347-993-0051. You email me, heychris@chrisnewtonrealestate.com. You comment, you subscribe, you hit the subscribe button up. And then we get in contact, we get into communication, and we got this conversation in further depth. Sounds fair? I think it does. I believe you think it sounds fair as well. So that's what we're gonna do. That's the plan. Yes? Shake my hand. All right, I got that from Jay Black. Have a great one, guys. Bye.